Everybody, come on down. Everybody, gather around. Hey, everybody, bring a friend. Everybody, come and help me sing. All are welcome here. Lay your burdens down. All are welcome here. You're on hallowed ground. All are welcome here. We'll break our bread with you. All are welcome here. Help you find your truth. All are welcome here. All are welcome here. All are welcome here. All are welcome here. Hey, everybody, come on down. Hey, everybody, gather around. Hey, everybody, bring a friend. Hey, everybody, come and help me sing. All are welcome here. Lay your burdens down. All are welcome here. You're on hallowed ground. All are welcome here. We'll break our bread with you. All are welcome here. Help you find your truth. All are welcome here. All are welcome here. All are welcome here. All are welcome here. Oh, all are welcome here. All are welcome here. All are welcome here. All are welcome here.
Hi. Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. Happy community here. We're just invited everybody to be present with me today, with all today, knowing all is well. We're so grateful for everybody to be here. As usual, we like to start our music with, that's okay, you just gave me a note, remind me, oh yeah, music.
Oh yeah, music. Everything better with music.
So I'm Reverend Jay Lang, the spiritual director here. So glad everybody's here, and I'm glad Bodhi is here for our opening song. Let's welcome Bodhi.
All that I see and all that I hear, all that I feel is God. All that I have, all that I do, all that I am is God. All that I see, all that I hear, all that I feel is God. All that I have, all that I do, all
Just breathe that in. All that I am, all that you are, all that we are is God. Thank you, Bodhi. So we'd like to begin each service with our vision and mission statement. If you'll look up on the screen, whether you're online or here in our sanctuary, we read, "We are an inclusive community for spiritual growth and compassionate action." And our mission, "We are co-creating a world that works for everyone by living intentionally, loving unconditionally, and seeing God in all people and all faiths." And so it is. What a wonderful affirmation for today, and always as we continue to evolve as a community, as we continue to know our greater truths that are opening up in us collectively and individually. Our biggest announcement we have is, I know we've talked about the Sip and Savor now for a month and a half, and here it is upon us. So this coming Saturday is our biggest fundraiser of the year, called Sip and Savor. And it is also evolved over time, where really I think what the most important part of it for me right now is the Compassion Awards we're giving out. And it starts at 3 o'clock on Saturday, and right at about 3:45, we'll be giving these awards to Tony McIntosh, Kent Gardella, Dr. Pete Shaw, and to community projects, and because of the compassionate work they've done in the community, and we're so happy for that, be able to do that. And then during this whole thing, we're doing wine tasting and wonderful food that's going to be there every year. Everybody compliments the food. It's always so wonderful to have it. And then a silent and live auction. And all those all the proceeds go to our outreach and the work we're doing to fulfill our vision and mission. So we're so happy that you're a part of this fundraising. So tickets are now on sale. They're still the pre-event discount price right now, but once the day of the event, they're going to be full price. So we encourage you to get your tickets. If you still have donations, Mary is going to pull her hair out if you get them. You don't get them in by Wednesday or Thursday, so we can get them on the auction tables. We do need to get them all registered and all ready to go. So if you have any last-minute donations, please get them in to us as soon as possible. There were a lot coming in today, I noticed. You can still be an individual business or sponsor. We have all the wineries we need at this point, but if there's another one, we could probably add it. But we have 7 wineries that are pouring that day. So as I mentioned, also there are still some spaces for volunteers if you can do that. Hey, Alex, I don't know about you, but I'm a little warm in here. Could you just turn down the heat a little bit for us? Thank you. And above all, just be a part, engage, and come and enjoy the time. You can still invite friends. I know a couple people bought groups of tickets, and then they'll just say, well, I don't know who's coming. Can they just use my name to get in? I go, yes, that's all they need to do. So it'll be a joyous time to have. So, please join us for that. And then we do have a new workshop that's happening that I'm leading on May 24th from 10 to 2 p.m. We'll have, I know that's over lunch hour, but some people don't like to start before 10, so we're going to have it then. But we'll have some snacks to have during that time, or bring a lunch if you want to do that. But what's powerful about this workshop that I'm doing is it's about intuitive healing and using the new physics, quantum physics, to talk about healing. And this is healing in mind, body, heart, and soul, all aspects of us. So it can be a particular thing that you want healed, or it can be just general healing that you want to do, or just to learn about these new ways of healing that are coming out that are proving very effective in complementing regular Western medicine that we might be a part of. And we know that healing comes from many different sources in many ways. And also say that the name of the workshop, Inside Out, it was inspired by the movie, because I think a lot of times what's inside of us, our emotions, can affect our health. So we'll explore that, as well as some visualizations and ways of using quantum physics to heal our body. So I think that's on May 24th. Registration is we won't have registration today, but it'll start next week, or on the webpage. It'll be up by Tuesday if you want to look on that. So, And then also important to let you know is that we are seeking volunteers in certain positions. In the kitchen, we need new people to bring snacks for Sundays if you're interested in doing that. As well as we need new people on the production team, and we train you for the production team and different other things, courtyard areas and everything. So if you're interested in volunteering, the welcome table is out here. There's a sign-up sheet there, as well as more information about upcoming events. And we welcome anybody who might be here for the first time today. And there'll be a special acknowledgement of you later in the service, but in the meantime, just enjoy the time that we have and the music and the message we have. I do want to shout out to people who have joined us online. Welcome for you. A special shout out if Joey's there. She's my fellow Warriors fan, so I don't know if she's on there or not, but if she is, she'll know what I'm talking about. So I don't know if anybody else is a Warriors fan. It's a great game last night, great game. So glad to be a part of that here in the Bay Area. So with that ado, I'll let all that go so we can go into the sacred, right? So we begin our sacred music with Bodhi.
Please take a deep breath with me. Let it out. And one more deep breath. And relax into your chair. And open up to the guidance of Spirit in this magnificent day. Let Spirit run through all that you are. Let the joy become you. Let the peace become you. You are one with this Spirit. And in knowing this oneness with Spirit, open your eyes and be ready for the guidance throughout your day. So it is. So, good morning. I have been listening to, and I'm admitting it, listening to Esther and Jerry Hicks. And when I first listened to them, probably in 2000, I thought they were crazy. And I let it go. And then I heard it. I don't know, a lot of you probably heard them. But what it is Esther channels Abraham through her, and Abraham is her guide. And when I listened to it again, I was fascinated. It was really interesting and to me. And he really, really went into intuition, which, we all take it for granted, pretty much. I do. It's like, yeah, intuition. But Abraham went really into the idea that each of us have a tailor-made intuition. It's only ours. And it is given to us to come to this earth and guide us through our life. And that's pretty awesome. I mean, that is a big gift. And so I started really thinking about that and thinking how many times I don't sit and listen because I'm busy doing. So I started working on it, and it is phenomenal. It is awesome. And it's really neat to know that I've always got guidance, even when I don't feel like I do. If I just stop and listen, it comes. So I thought about something that happened recently and the inner guidance. And I'll tell you a little story. So a friend of mine came up with her elderly dog, and the dog's been up there and knows my dogs, and everything's fine, except she's elderly and she can't hear. So anyway, we had to run out and get some food, and she wanted Sugar to stay with my dogs. And I felt like that's not a good idea because we live in the country and we don't have a fence. But anyway, I caved to that, and we ran quickly and came back. And of course, Sugar wasn't there. We couldn't find her. And it was scary, really scary, because she can't hear. So we searched and we searched. We were out looking for hours and calling the Humane Society and going to all the neighbors and just the whole thing. And finally I said, I need to just sit here and listen. I can't do this anymore. It's just frantic. And I did. And I sat there quietly for about 10 minutes. And I was guided. I was told where Sugar was. I told my friend, I said, we need to go back to that hill. And she said, we've been on that hill like 10 times. We've combed it. I go, I think she's there. And so we went there, and there she was under a bush. So I was guided to Sugar. And not only that, I was told she was fine. And I felt much better, and then I listened more. So we are guided. And we are so loved and so blessed, so let's use our intuition. Thank you.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Anybody here been to Port Townsend? Oh yeah, it's a beautiful place. One of my favorite places on the planet. It's a little bit boomy. Maybe turn the bass down a little. And so I was there for a week in the wintertime, and this storm, I was right on the bay, staying in a place right on the water, and this raging storm came. You know, the storms up there, it's like very amazing power and energy. And the next morning, it was just calm and beautiful. And this song came through, The Beauty of You. Oh, the wind, it was rattling the shutters all night, and I was feeling blue. I thought I was losing my place in the world. Then I wake to the beauty of you. I wake to the beauty of you. And it's quite amazing how strong the wind blows. It slices through all that's untrue. And even when darkness around me does fall, I remember the beauty of you. I remember the beauty of you. The clouds of the morning, they gently roll by. The light changes the view. A smile on the inside does softly reveal, and I dance to the beauty of you. I dance to the beauty of you. The dream is forgotten at the breaking of day. I open to all that is new. The waves on the water, they rise and they fall. I sing to the beauty of you. I sing to the beauty of you. Oh, the wind, it was rattling the shutters all night, and I was feeling blue. I thought I was losing my place in the world. Then I wake to the beauty of you. I wake to the beauty of you. Wake to the beauty of you. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Bodhi. That's beautiful. It's another one of those songs that could be thought of as a romantic song, but it seems like you're singing it to life itself.
Yeah, it's just
The beauty of life. So wonderful. I did get some acknowledgement online about my my Warriors comment. Elena in Kentucky and Marty Shoulders both agreed with me, and I know some people are watching it on television and can't type in a response, but it's good. And Joey said yes too, so Joey's there too. All right. So we probably have about, I don't know, between 20 and 25 people that are actively watching, but over the week about 100 people are watching our YouTube services. So it's a celebration of that we can reach out to people in Monterey and Kentucky and different places around the world. So glad to be a part of that. So today we're talking about cultivating joy. And what's interesting about this topic is it's the Sunday after Earth Day. And last year for Earth Day, we were able to participate in the city-wide community event that there's booths and different things. And what we were talking about, what we had brochures about, we had compost there to show kids about compost and different things about recycling and different little things. But we were also talking about regenerative farming and how there's a comparison with regenerative farming and spirituality. And so I thought I'd bring that in this week because I didn't really fully talk about it last year, and I think it's a really important topic to talk about. That the idea that we are consciously connected to the earth. And we can be mindful, and yes, if you garden or you farm, that can be mindful, or just how you buy, what you eat, and be mindful of that. Not only what the actual product is, but how we eat changes the earth at a time when we are in a climate crisis. We are in a way that we need to preserve the earth, but also in a way that brings a deeper spirituality into us, a deeper experience of life, a deeper experience of that which we're receiving and that which we're giving in this cycle of life as we have. It's interesting because I don't intend to have a seminar on farming today, but just on the idea that all life is connected. There's a famous country wisdom that's a kind of a joke that people say in New England. You've probably heard it before, about a person from the city drove up to a farm and asked directions how to get somewhere, and the farmer said, well, you can't get there from here, right? You've heard that? I think that that's an adage that we need to look at as we look at our own lives, where we are right now. And if we're looking outside of ourselves, we're looking down the road trying to figure out how to get somewhere, we can't get there from here. We have to get there from in here. That we need to go back to the beginning. And what's interesting about this farming idea, it's not. A lot of people talk about regenerative farming as a new way of farming. And it is. There's a new resurgence of it. But it's actually an old way. There's an ancient wisdom from Greek and Roman philosophers that talking about a connection to the inner self, to the earth. Indigenous people grew food in a way that was in alignment. They would always seek blessings and gratitude and love to give to the earth to receive its bounty. And there was always a give and take, a conscious relationship in that was so important to them. And this is this mindfulness we talk about. So in that way, it's not new. There's an Iroquois way of farming called Three Sisters. And so this idea of complementary planting is really not that new. So they would plant corn and beans and squash together. The corn provided a stock for the beans to grow up. And also the beans provided nitrogen for the corn and the squash in its roots. And the squash provided ground cover to hold in the moisture in dry times. And together it produced a product that could be dried and stored for months and months. Dried corn, winter squashes, dried beans. So it was sustainable on many levels. And they did this not by scientific experiment. Well, it might have been experimentation, but it was an intuitive thing that they found what worked and what was in harmony. Perhaps, Michelle, thank you for your delightful sharing today, just about intuition. And I am sure that they relied, because they're so connected to the earth, that they were guided how to do this. I don't have any doubts about that at all. I was also reading an article online about this woman. Her name is Cheryl Alston. And this article was talking about black women for centuries have used techniques that they pass from generation to generation to cultivate soil. And that's at the base of regenerative farming that I'll talk more about later, that first you grow soil and then you grow plants. And this relates to me about our inner growth within ourselves. And so this Cheryl Alston talked about the person who interviewed her, first of all, acknowledged her knowing smile. Can you see that knowing smile on her? That something is not only happening on the outer, but the inner cultivation of life. And while she was talking to this reporter, she ran her hands through the dark, nutritious, rich soil as in North Carolina. And she plucked a bright, firm tomato from the vine and said, "Can you imagine eating a tomato so sweet you might call it a piece of candy? It all comes straight from the field, from the best soil in the world. It's just wonderful." So she acknowledges it's the soil that enriches us, and it is our inner soil, our inner cultivation, our inner life that creates the richness in our life as well, that produces the best fruits and vegetables in our lives, so to speak, the best production in that way. There's also, back in the early 1900s, Rudolf Steiner had developed ideas not only for the education called Waldorf these days, but biodynamic farming. And it was considered pretty woo at a time to put cow's horns or ram's horns out in the field, and farmers were like, what does this have anything to do with growing anything? But what Rudolf Steiner acknowledged, it is more than just what we see on the outside, that it's an inner energy ecosystem that that's important for plants' growth. And what was considered woo-woo for a long time is now being proven by science. Finhorn, you've heard me talk about that before, in the 60s, went to an area in Scotland where thought it was inhabitable for anything to be grown on there, and they used nature spirits and energy systems to develop and grew cabbages and squashes and tomatoes beyond a normal size of any garden people had ever seen before. And the organic movement grew out of, in the 1960s, when they found out that the pesticides used in the fields were running off into the water systems, and animals like the bald eagle, their eggs were thinning because of these pesticides that they were ingesting from the fish that they were eating, that were all connected. And come to find out, when this organic movement that happened, not only did it help us and what we ate, the wildlife and the water systems, but it helped the farmers, the people who are working in the fields and spraying these chemicals that affects them and their children and the schools that are around some of these fields. So this is another thing that came out of it. And lately, in the last 20 years, there's been a resurgence of the ideas of regeneration. And that's been around over-tilling of soil with exposed dirt, and we're losing our topsoil on this planet. I mean, literally, like they say, within 50 years, we won't have any topsoil left if we continue upon that. And that's part of, think of the Dust Bowl and think about times when this was a problem, and we need to keep our soil in our fields, and there are certain ways we do it. So let me talk about this idea about regenerative farming. Like I said, it's not a seminar in that, but I am going to compare it to spirituality at the same time. So there are some basic things about this, widely accepted tenets. First of all, there's a holistic view. It's connected. You grow healthy soil. 3, you keep living healthy roots in the soil. 4, diverse plants and biodiversity. And 5, integrating animals and companion plants. So first of all, let's talk about this holistic and connected. I just love this picture because it has a view of people that are, from a perspective, seeing the whole of this farm, the whole system of rain and energy and livestock and what's going on. And I think this is also a really important way that we can step back from our lives and get perspective. That sometimes when we're engaged in a problem too much, a concern, a worry about us or someone else, that we lose that perspective, and it's in meditation and prayer that we can step back and see this overall view, the whole ecosystem, and remember that we are whole, complete, and perfect, and that everything in life is whole, complete, and perfect, and we need to align with that rather than a particular problem. To know that that problem needs to be addressed, not to ignore it. That we just need to know and allow an intuition to come forth. The other thing I found about regenerative farming is because it's new to a lot of farmers, that there's a lot of conversations about it. There's trainings about it, collaboration. It's brought people together. No longer is farming an isolated thing like it's been for a long time. that suddenly neighbors are talking to neighbors about what's working for them, because it is a kind of experimentation. It's a new way of doing things. It's not logical, it's intuitive, it's holistic. And so sometimes this comparison and conversation with people, and I think the same thing is happening with us, that we are seeking this collaboration with Spirit, our intuition, that we seek to have this connection with our life from this perspective, as well as a connection and collaboration in community. That we have discussions and ideas and throw around things and what's working and what's going on in our lives, and how can I seek support, and how can I support others? So it's this idea of this holistic and connectedness of regeneration that is the same for us, and we recognize that what's inside of us becomes our experiences, as well as what we experience from our world we can bring to the inside to find the truth in it. So there's always this connection of giving and receiving, of understanding, of insight, of allowing, of connecting and finding and discovering. We need each other, and we need ourselves to deepen in this. So the second part is to grow healthy soil. When I first heard this, I didn't understand what that meant. What do you mean grow healthy soil? You grow plants, you don't grow soil. But in fact, it starts with the soil, that if we can create, farmers, gardeners, or within ourselves, a healthy, fertile, vibrant self, that we can grow all sorts of things that we want to manifest and create in our lives. So these regenerative farms, they don't disturb the soil. They're minimizing tilling, so digging it up creates this dryness, and the air that goes out, the dirt that just blows away. They put in cover crops that are nitrogen fixing plants and water, and it allows this the carbon to stay in the soil, the water to evaporate less when you have a cover crop, versus conventional agriculture. You lose water, and the carbon is just released. A lot of the fertilizers and pesticides they have a lot of carbon in them, they just get released, so it's not brought in. Some people call this creating a soil armor to put cover crops over. I know I've experimented some with that. In my own garden, I had some natural clover that's growing over my raspberries, so I'm just going to let it keep growing and see if that can, before I would pull it all out so the raspberries would have space to grow. But this idea is that it would hold the moisture in, and it's feeding nitrogen to my raspberries. So that'll be interesting to see. Over the winter, I kept cover crop on my garden, and I had some mustard plants that grew like 4 feet tall, and they were great mustard greens as well as a great cover crop. So, different things like that we can experiment with, and open to this idea. I know that when we think of experimentation, Ernest Holmes, our founder, when he talked about affirmative prayer, that were just some ideas that continue to develop and continue to evolve. He didn't even say 5 steps or how to, he just gave us ideas, and we've developed over the time after his passing. Michael Beckwith, as an ideas visioning, came out of this and continued to do. And so we develop practices for our inner peace. We find, if we're cultivating joy, we find what brings us joy, what brings us happiness. And what we also know is that if we allow, just like the companion planting of the Iroquois, if we allow just a natural unfoldment to happen, if we trust the universe and don't always go, the metaphor of planting a seed, once we plant it, we don't dig it back up to see if it's growing. We trust it. We give it time. Now, maybe some seeds don't grow, so we can replant them, or we find out what that is. But we trust the universe. There's a natural order and an intuition we can tap into, a synchronization that happens. And we trust it and allow it. And this is this idea of this deep cover that's over the land. And we are in that depth developing our fertile soil. We're adding compost and rich soil and developing this, and we know that out of that comes our own growth naturally. We don't have to push it or force it or doubt it. It is and will always be. And then we move into this idea, another idea about regenerative farming is about the root system. And in fact, often they either will keep plants growing while they plant other new plants with it, or they cut them off, they cut them down a little bit and provide the nitrogen that's in these roots to stay in the ground. Because why would you pull out healthy roots? Maybe if it's a weed, maybe it's something that doesn't belong there, or perhaps it's a diseased root itself. Sure, we would do that. But normally, roots have developed this nitrogen. We pull out the roots, we're pulling out nitrogen, we're pulling out all these nutrients. So we keep it in the soil according to regenerative, and the same is true for us, that we dive into this healthiness, this aliveness in it. As we think about being grounded and aware of our roots, and when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about the roots of our ancestors, the roots of people that have done spiritual consciousness work before us, as well as our biological ancestors, those that bring us wisdom that we can add on. Consciousness is a thing that continues to expand and spiral forth if we allow it to do that. If we become attached to the same thing over and over again, which our small self likes things to stay the same, then we're not evolving. We're not creating. And that comes up with the next thing about a diversity for health and resilience of plants. Not only have regenerative farmers found that it's good to rotate crops, but also plant different crops with each other that are complementary, that partner with each other. The old farming way was to say, well, this is a soybean field. It's always been a soybean field. Always will be a soybean field. This is a corn field. That's just what we grow on this acre here. And every year, the yield seems to get less and less. And do you know that in grocery stores, in a regular grocery store, non-organic food, the nutrition value of fruits and vegetables has gone down in the last 50 years, as tested scientifically. That's because the soil is less rich it's grown in. And that's true of ourselves. What are we cultivating? What are we creating? What are we allowing within ourselves to dive into this wisdom teaching that we know and allow ourselves to be exposed to a variety of things, of discussions, podcasts, services, classes, books to stimulate our mind, body, heart, and soul. As I mentioned, our small stuff wants things predictable and the same, but it is diversity that makes us wiser. Both diversity in people and activities and things, and if we're gardeners and that, makes us wiser, more conscious, more empathetic, more curious about life. Too much of our small self just wants to keep anything different out. Can you imagine if I sometimes I play around with the idea that I have some favorite foods: avocados, mangoes, oranges, apples, and I think, well, if I lived on an island and I was remote, and I only had one food that I had to eat, what would it be? And I go, well, avocados for sure. I love avocados, but I go, wait a minute. That would get pretty old after a while. Apples, mangoes, as much as I love them. And the truth is, my body would need more nutrition than just one thing, right? So our soul needs more nutrition than just from one thing. A variety of people, experiences, to be curious, to ask questions. I love Valerie Carr's work about a judgment that we might have of someone. They're part of us we just don't know yet. So find out. How are we connected? How are we alike? What is our common ground? What can you teach me? What can I understand about your life? And allow this creativity and this power. Often there's a term for people that are curious called cultural creatives. I love that term, and I think it applies to most people in our community here. cultural creatives. That you are, it's not that you're creating art or music, but it's you're creative in life. You're culturally diverse. You're willing to seek new experiences and find new ways of being, and it makes you more alive too, more open to things within yourself and around us. So this idea that diversity does make us wiser, more conscious, and more empathetic. And then finally, kind of the fun thing that I've seen. Oh, I meant to mention this quote here. I know. Hold on. Wait for the quote. I know, especially as we're here in California. When I first moved to California, or first visited probably about 20 years ago, I was warned, don't stand on the edge of the cliff at the beach, right? Because there's nothing underneath there. So when we see a picture like that, we go, oh. I think they're safe. But it's to illustrate Kurt Vonnegut's quote here, the author, if you know him. I want to stand as close to the edge as I can without going over. Let's make sure we hear that part. Because out on the edge, you see all kinds of things you can't see from the center. So this is true when we seek diversity. When we seek something new, we can't see it from our comfort zone. We can't experience it from our comfort zone. We step out of that comfort zone to experience new things, new ways of being. And some of it's an experiment. Some of it's, well, that didn't work. That's okay. We're still trying. We're still trying new things. Some things in my garden I've tried. Well, that didn't work, It didn't grow. It didn't function. It didn't give me, well, it looks pretty, but there's no peas on it, or something. So we also, this idea of regeneration is integrating animals and companion plants. And I don't know if you've ever seen here in Napa Valley, the little sheep that go around in the vineyards and goats and different things. It's remarkable, quite frankly. And I first saw this many years ago, and I saw a friend of mine had a farm in Southern California, and they had geese in their farm who were just picking out the snails, picking out the slugs and eating things that were harmful to the plants they were growing. And so there's this symbiotic relationship, synchronotic, whatever, something like a synchron. It's a good thing. How about that? That these plants these animals and plants can complement the things that are going on. So guess what? It's back to the three sisters. How did they figure that out? That the squash and the beans and the corn complement each other. Because they followed their intuition. We may not know everything. We don't need to know everything. But God in us knows all. Can help us find what we're looking for. Can help us open up our hearts. Can find paths for healing, for deeper connection, for aliveness. And the path of healing and mindfulness is just a way of integration of the body, mind, heart, and soul. I mean, some plants that they put in regenerative farms don't have any produce, but they attract butterflies and bees that help pollinate the other plants. And it's beautiful as well. So there's certain things that we do in our lives that attract that which we are seeking, that which we know is opening up. We're not sure how to get there, but we just open up to a way, a new way, a powerful way. Ernest Holmes said, everything necessary to the full and complete expression of the most boundless experience of joy is mine now. Everything necessary to the full and complete expression of the most boundless experience of joy is mine now. To claim that is ours now. I think of, I just keep looking at this, the integration of our mind, body, heart, and soul, just like integrating the animals and plants in the garden. And I think of Cheryl Alston, and I just keep looking at her face and just looking at the beauty that she is, and that she's cultivated not only rich soil, but a richness inside. And you can see that in her face. And that we can cultivate this joy by just allowing this deeper self to develop, to be enriched, to become fertile, and allow it in our quiet contemplative time, and to collaborate in spirit and community. And we find this deeper connection with all of life. this inner focus that allows us to cultivate, to be, and open to something deeper. And for this, I'm grateful today. Let us go to prayer. The goodness of life is right here within us. We know everything is this goodness. That we don't have to seek it. We don't have to create it. We know Spirit within us is this. So as we go into this time of prayer, we know the Spirit is with us in all ways, that guides us, allows us to develop this inner joy, this inner being, and allows healing, creativity, connection to happen easily. I know any prayers you have in your heart right now for yourself or for others are heard by the universe. And the universe is responding to them in creative and powerful ways. This deeper self that we are, that's being cultivated, that's being grown, is guided by Spirit itself. We know this to be true. And we're so grateful for that today and always. And so it is.
Can you feel the joy? Can you feel the joy? Can you feel the joy inside your heart? Inside your heart. Listen to the music in your heart. Feel the joy deep inside your soul. Dance the sacred rhythms of your body. Feel the peace deep inside your mind. Can you feel the joy? Can you feel the joy? Can you feel the joy inside your heart? Inside your heart. Can you feel the presence of the Spirit? The essence of all life that makes us strong. Spirit as creation flowing through me. Source of all that sings through me this song. Oh, can you feel the joy? Can you feel the joy? Can you feel the joy inside your heart? Inside your heart. Can you feel the joy? Can you feel the joy? Can you feel the joy inside your heart? Inside your heart.
I love it. I love it. Feeling the joy within. That's the whole. And it can't be felt outside. It's nothing outside of ourselves. It's within to open that
Yeah, you
up,
can be
so.
happy too. It's okay with me.
Okay, all right, okay. Thank you. Thank you for the permission, Bodhi. This is a time in our service we invite you to be part of our law of the law of circulation, the giving and receiving. If our ushers could come forward, what we know is that which you give that supports our vision and mission continues to circulate within your life, bringing you greater abundance, greater creativity and manifestations. We appreciate you supporting our vision and mission. There are a number of ways to donate, online or checks today. We know that some of you give online, so we ask that anything that you've given in the past or the present or will in the future, you can lift your hand, your heart to represent that and repeat the affirmation that's on the screen. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate, and so it is.
God is the source of who I am. God is the dream of what I do. And if it's God I'm a talking to, I give myself to be used by you. God is the source of who I am. God is the dream of what I do. And if it's God I'm a talking to, I give myself to be used by you. God is the source of who I am. God is the dream of what I do. And if it's God I'm a talking to, I give myself to be used by you. God is the source of, can't hear you. God is the dream of what I do. And if it's God I'm a talking to, I give myself to be used by you. I give myself to be used. I give myself to be used. I give myself to be used by. Let me hear you, Georgia.
Nothing like being called out here. We welcome everybody who might be here for the first time or the first time in a while. It's always great to have new people in our community. I hope you find something you're looking for in terms of our beliefs or our community. We'll have coffee and fellowship out in the courtyard. You can get to know us better, as well as the welcome table that's out there, more information about us. But we would invite you now, if you're willing to raise your hand so we can welcome you. We do have a packet for you to look at. Anybody willing to raise your hand? First time? Okay. Well, we so glad to have you here with us, and also behind you. There you go. And we have a special blessing today for our new people, either online or here in the sanctuary. Knowing that the peace and happiness you seek is also seeking you. We honor your inner radiance as you let your light shine in the world. We are grateful for your presence in our community, and so it is. And we also like to bless our children. We can just bless you right where you are. So we can raise our hands and bless the two children we have here. And we say, we bless you today. We love you, we care for you, and we're here for you. So good. We don't have children's programs every week, but we'll have them coming up in more formal ways. So thank you for being here today. And we also like to end the service with practitioners. If our practitioners could come forth, please. So it's a gift to be able to receive a prayer It's almost like a giving and receiving because the practitioners so appreciate praying for others, whether you have something in particular you want prayer for or just a general prayer of well-being and cultivation of your soil and your soul. It's a great way to understand the kind of prayers we have as well as seek a healing or change or shift in your lives. We also have prayer requests available in the lobby you can fill out or online as a choice also. So if you so want a prayer with a practitioner today, just stay in your seat and people will file out and there'll be space made available for those prayers. So let's all stand for the community affirmation and the closing song. So repeat with me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
Something wonderful is happening through me right now.
I am led by Spirit. I'm guided by wisdom. I'm protected by love. I am here to be a blessing.
Here to be a blessing.
I am so grateful.
So great.
And so it is. And now our closing song.
Hey, you know the difference between soil and soul is just you and I. I am a prayer for peace. Wherever I go, peace goes with me. I feel peace inside, and every breath, peace abide. And I know the joy of peace. I choose fear to relieve. Every moment, love wakes up, and peace is every step. And oh, peace is every step. And peace is every step. Woo!
Lord, we know that all that we seek is within us as we cultivate it and bring it forth to shift our own lives and the lives of all. And so it is. Have a great Sunday.